So when those credits roll, you realize, man, there's something not right. Denzel, he don't do people like that. I gotta go watch this again. You go and watch it again, man. It takes you maybe a couple of times to realize, oh, Denzel's evil.
He's the bad guy. Oh no.
Hey everyone, support our Patreon, which helps us to continue bringing you our live streams, videos, and podcasts while bringing you new content such as exclusive live streams and animated shorts. Let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. And let's get into this retro review that we got here. So Training Day hit Netflix, man. And a lot of people already love the movie. So a lot of people are saying, you know what, if it's on Netflix, I'm going to watch. And that includes me. Because as you know, if you've been watching this show for a while or this channel for a while, if you watch what we did, our previous website, what we did on that, then you know that Training Day is absolutely in my top 3 favorite films.
Today's a training day, Officer Hoyt. Supervise 5 officers. You could be number 6 if you act right. Good.
And thus begins Ethan Hawke's adventure. And
man, looking at him, I'm surprised you didn't Sharpie on a goatee and
know?
put on your leather jacket.
Yeah, man, you know what? Y'all hold on, I'll be right back. No, it's too hot for that shit. Sitting there with a yellow jacket and my beard is dripping like mascara down here. Just leaking onto my shirt and everything. Training Day has ruined so many days for me. Cause if this is on and I just catch a little bit of it, I'm sitting down and watching the whole thing.
It's one of those movies.
No matter what scene it is, it could be almost at the last frame. I'm gonna sit down and watch this.
Well, it's like something you said earlier, how tight it is. So every scene is a good scene.
Oh yeah.
And they all lead to something.
Oh yeah. I've stood up dates. I just had chicks waiting in restaurants while I'm supposed to be out the door. I'm sitting up here watching Denzel. Shit. If you have an emergency, your car broke down, you in the middle of nowhere, you in jail, you bleeding to death, call me, but you better hope Training Day don't come on in the middle of that. Because you staying in jail, you stuck out there in the middle of nowhere, or you're dead. Because I'm watching this, man. This is also a historic film. A lot of people, they look at this and they just see it as mere entertainment, and it is very entertaining, but this is definitely a historic film. For one, it gave Denzel his second Oscar, but actually it was his first Oscar for Best Actor.
Best Actor.
Oh, God is good. God is great.
To you. Right? Some people get on my nerves when they say that.
I know.
40 years I've been chasing Sydney. They finally give it to me. What they do? They give it to him the same night. I'll always be chasing you, Sydney. I'll always be following in your footsteps.
I thought he was going to get up and be like, suck my
This ain't my first one of these.
yeah, bitch, I got plenty more of these came from. You'll never be me. It became a very quotable movie. It became a very quotable cultural phenomena. Who hasn't had a bad day where somebody got pissed off and went and lost their shit, or somebody who just felt like a badass one day and didn't say this to someone?
King Kong ain't got shit on me.
Everybody. Everybody. I don't know how many people left the building with their shit that they got laid off. King Kong ain't got shit. I'm gonna burn this motherfucker down.
Yeah, but somebody saying that, it's like, wow, things did not go your way that day, did they?
No, they did not. No, they didn't. This is the one that pretty much made David Ayer a popular name.
Sure.
A lot of people didn't know his name before. They probably seen something he had done or written, like Fast and Furious or something like that. Did he help out with that?
I don't think
so. Okay, maybe he didn't. So maybe this is the first time you've seen it. This has, and I was sad to learn that this has just kind of a modest 73%.
Yeah, I know. I saw that
Rotten
too,
Tomatoes.
and I was like, say what?
Yeah, man. I still hear criticism about this movie, where the criticisms are, it's too far-fetched, too many coincidences, full of stereotypes. I'm here actually to talk about some of this, but mostly I'm here to talk about, yes, how Training Day has maybe aged in time. You know, this came out in 2001. It's 2021 now, so it's 20 years since this movie came out. You know, considering especially the environment that we're in now with race relations and how we view the police and, you know, a few other things. But also, I'm here, even knowing that, I'm here to make the argument why Training Day is still one of the best written scripts of all time. My lovely wife, Miss Me over here, she watched the movie with me today. She hadn't seen it in a while. She has her takes on this, which were very interesting, so I asked her to be here tonight for this. One of the reasons why I think that this script, the reason why people come in and they say the criticisms that they have for this, but also one of the reasons why people really love this movie is for the rewatchability of it. This is a film where, you know, to this day, I can study this film right here and still catch something new. What is it that you saw in this that is new this time? You have to keep in mind, people, I saw Training Day, because you've heard me say I watch Training Day all the time, but being somebody who's on the internet, being somebody who's probably part of that short attention span group out there, I watch this in chunks on YouTube, and I watch my favorite scenes over and over again. I haven't watched it in its continuity in a while, probably years. So there are scenes in between that I haven't caught. Mm-hmm. And I've come in and been able to see that some of these things that I haven't seen in a while, there are these little small details, man, that give a deeper meaning to everything in here. You know, look, we know everybody has the same experience watching Training Day for the first time. You know, we watch Denzel as LAPD Detective Alonzo Harris. He does one crooked thing after another. You know, you look at him, he's so crooked. He gives no fucks so much. This is a dude that drinks and drives. And he's a cop, just in the daytime, just beer in his hand for everybody to see. Just people, you be driving by and seeing that shit right there. Straight up six pack in the car, man.
And what are you gonna do?
Meanwhile, he got a high ass white dude in the passenger seat. Anybody else would get stopped for this. We would get fined, taken to jail, all that.
Not Alonzo.
Not Alonzo, though. Alonzo, as he says, shit, we the police. We can do what we want to do. And he flaunts it. He's a little abrasive. He's got a big ego. He talks a lot of shit. As far as, I mean, look, that's what Alonzo got to do. He got to work these streets. Mm-hmm. But also, look, behind Alonzo is Denzel, man.
Sure. And Denzel's always a good guy.
Denzel's always
so maybe he's being hard and, you know.
Yeah.
But it's for a reason. He's just trying to teach this kid the streets.
Denzel wouldn't hurt nobody, man. You know, whatever he's doing to that little white boy needs to shut up and listen. He might learn something. Even at the end of the movie, when Ethan Hawke as Jake Hoyt, when Jake is getting shot at, man.
Where's your evidence, huh?
It's right there.
He's like, man, can't you see he's trying to teach you? Man, that's all part of the lesson right there. You know,
it's out the window by this point.
You getting some good hands-on training right now, man. Oh man, that shotgun was full of blanks. He's just messing with it. Even at the end of the movie, and this is how much I love Denzel. So even at the end of the movie, when Denzel got shot, I said, you know what?
He'll be back.
He's gonna get up, man. Those are squibs. Those are blanks that they're using. You know, there's a twist, right? What this is that this is all a setup to show Jake the evils of corruption, man. Mm-hmm. It was all an act. It's all theatrics, man. Mm. He had to scare Jake, man. Now, this could really happen, Jake, if you fuck around.
I'm happy Corey's not Jake.
Yeah, right.
Because he would get you.
I'm like, yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, it's all a setup. Yeah.
Corey, I think he's really trying to kill you. No. This is his way.
He's just a really good teacher, man. He's very hands-on. And he makes class fun. So when those credits roll, you realize, man, there's something not right. Denzel, he don't do people like that. I gotta go watch this again. You go and watch it again, man. You know, it takes you maybe a couple of times to realize, oh, Denzel's evil.
He's the bad guy. Oh no.
This movie is a wonderful lesson on show, don't tell. You have to go watch the appeal of this movie is that you probably don't even realize it. But when you see this movie, you don't even know that you're missing a lot of details. It probably missed you the first time around. And it's such a good movie, you know that everything meant something. And you have to see it again to catch it all and put it back together. I'm telling you, that's one of the reasons why I want to see it again, because once you realize, it's almost like a twist. Once you realize that Denzel is the bad guy, and then this whole time you thought that he was just playing and he was a good guy, you have to go back and start seeing everything that you missed.
Also, it's easy to miss in the very beginning when Ethan Hawke is going to work. All right, I'm starting this new position. It's a new chance for me. And his wife is all like, all right, don't screw this up.
Yeah.
And so he's already got that pressure of whatever happens, I got to stick with this.
He was getting it from the house before he even left. So yeah, the pressure was on, man. Now, a big reveal in this, and I'm going to tell you some of the things that I saw. I'm going to tell you some things that actually connects everything that a lot of people still don't see today to show you how tight this movie is. And I'm going to show you some things that I missed, some things that I missed that connect things together, and some things that give a bigger meaning to the movie that you did not catch and you won't catch unless somebody's telling you, or you just happen to one day it clicks. So a big reveal in the movie is that Alonzo has meticulously planned this day. You know, he's made sure that in the movie, he said for a week, I'm going to make sure that Jake is going to be the scapegoat in my plans one way or another.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff that the character improvises.
Yes. No, a good planner, sure, anybody can make a plan, but a really good planner is able to improvise on the fly because they know everything isn't going to come together exactly like they want it to.
You have to, because you don't know what Jake is going to do. You know, there is a person in front of you. Maybe he's not going to cooperate. Maybe he's going to say no. So he keeps manipulating you the whole time.
Yeah. Another reason why you like Denzel is because you really do see that he's good at his job. Now, we see it being put to bad use, but he is so good at his job. Everything means something, man. Everything in the movie means something. There's hardly any action that doesn't lend itself to the bigger picture. And they show you this the first time around. You don't see it. Man, this is, y'all gonna think I'm crazy for saying this, but this is right up there on some almost a Sixth Sense level type shit. A simple piece of paper at the beginning of the movie. They don't make a big deal about it, but a simple piece of paper.
Hey, grab that menu off that window for me, all right?
You know, when you first watch the movie, you're thinking, get that trash off my windshield. You don't realize how he's looking at every little detail and saying, I can use everything. He don't even know what he's going to use that menu for. But he says, grab that. Even for him, trash. Trash is a useful tool.
I want to see that warrant.
There you go. Let's go.
She like, shit, I want some Chinese food. She gonna call right now for delivery. I'm gonna give me some lo mein right now.
That's what I need in my life.
Yeah, that was a Chinese food menu on his window. He picked it up, and he did not really even know what he was gonna use it for later that day, but he says, everything to me means something. Yeah. That's some Batman detective shit right there. And plus, he's efficient. Again, you know, these are some things that you probably noticed yourself, but you know, watching again, I'm just like, wow, just how efficient this guy is. Because there's so many things you take for granted at the beginning of the movie. When he's sitting with Jake, when they first meet him at the diner, man, you know, it sounds like
Poor Jake.
Poor Jake. Yeah,
I'm ready. What are we doing?
He might as well just have puppy dog ears and his tongue sticking out. What are we doing today, sir? What are you going to Alonzo, huh? What are you doing? Shut up. You know, at the diner, man. Now, what Denzel as Alonzo is doing, he's always looking at a way. He's got a plan, but shit, man, if something can make his job easier, hey, work smarter, not harder, you know? When they go to that diner, you first see that Jake is sitting there, and it looks like Denzel is just kind of playfully fucking with Jake.
Right.
You know, and plus he's just laying down some alpha male authority, because that's what he gets off on. And it's easy to think that this is just some fun, and it is great dialogue, but it's just some fun dialogue just for the sake of getting the audience up and going and laughing and getting into the movie.
It's amazing. And the most entertaining story that you can come up with to tell me is a drunk stop.
He's like, oh, I like that story. His feelings are hurt. He's like, man, I thought that was good.
But I don't believe you. You know you tapped that ass. You put it in the back seat, bam, code X.
Look, man, I got a wife.
You got a dick.
And you're like, well, I can't argue with that, sir. He's doing two things, man. He's bullying him and he's prying him for information. It's this whole thing. If you haven't seen the movie more than once, you missed this. That he's looking at him and he says, look, the moment this kid sits down, he's in my web. He's locked in. He's buzzing up there. I'm a spy I'm a spider about to go over there and poison his ass. But, the moment that Jake sits down, he's in his trap. But he says, you know what? If I can make this easy on myself and make Jake dig his own hole, that would be best, because the thing is, I can blackmail him. Probably don't have to get as dirty with this. This probably doesn't have to go as far as I wanted to.
It's testing to see how eager he is.
Yeah.
Because if you start out and even smiling, you abuse somebody and they're there ready for like, okay, yeah, but what else? You're like, okay, I can easily push them into doing stuff. It's just a little nudge, and then you got them.
Yeah. But he's looking to blackmail him, because if he confesses that, yeah, I had sex with this chick, then he's like, well, hey, you know what? I hate to tell your wife, man. I know we just talking, but, if I'll do it if I have to. And so he's looking up for any dirt on this guy.
Yeah, don't forget, he's been doing all this stuff to a lot of people, not only Jake. He's been doing all this on the streets, so he's pretty smart on all these kind of weird stuff.
Oh yeah. No, he's looking to put Jake on his team one way or another, A lot of time, like I said, it's really easy to dismiss the movie as being a big coincidence with certain events. One of the biggest ones is how Jake ends up with these essays with a shotgun to his head, about to be blasted because Denzel set him up. And it's that whole scene, and y'all remember this, man. It's that whole scene where they find out his cousin, and they got the wallet. Let me see. I think even has that scene right here.
Yeah, that's the thing I was talking about.
Yeah. Well, let me see here. Y'all know this whole thing with the wallet right here. Here it is.
Hey, Smiley, you gonna trip out? Is that your little cousin or what, eh?
Oh, fuck! I found it!
Alone to give it to you?
I found it!
Hey, wait up. I can't even see you, homie.
My Cliff Curtis, my favorite unilateral brown character actor.
Yeah.
I told her he was a Kiwi, man. That dude ain't no way. He ain't even been to Mexico.
Right.
Hey, Smiley, you gonna trip out? Is that your little cousin or what?
Yeah, that whole thing with that's your little cousin. Oh, because that's your cousin, now I don't have to blast you. They've been setting that up through the whole film, man. Like I said, this guy uses every bit. You have to love this character, man, because like I said, that's not a wasted detail in this movie. He was picking up on this information earlier.
Yeah.
That cousin was about to be raped by some crackheads earlier, and he was asking if she was okay. And you hear the information that she's volunteering. It's not that he cares about her. He's like, oh shit, somebody that I could probably connect with. I got some dudes that can do some dirt for me. I know them.
I was just going to a fucking ditch party.
You almost became a part of the ditch party. Now, who you say your cousin's from where?
From Hillside 13.
Okay.
You fucking remember that,
Tell
too.
your cousins to get your back, all right?
Those were the essays he was talking about.
Sure. And even the director, Anton Fuqua, was saying how, it's not that it's a coincidence that he ended up being almost assassinated by those Mexicans, but once he saw that girl, that gave Alonzo the idea, like, oh yeah, her cousins, I can get those guys to kill him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he can. When he looked at her and knew that they were there, he's like, well, shit, I just call them up.
Yeah.
And they actually have a part in the movie. The thing with the movie is that there's so many subtle things, man.
But for this scene, I was thinking, don't you think, these guys let him go too easy for that? They got paid from Alonzo to kill him and everything, and they just, let him go just because he saved his cousin?
Well, also,
would they care normally?
Consider that by the time you get to the end of the movie, you realize that all these people who work with Alonzo, they all hate him.
Also, you can hear, details being made. This didn't happen out of nowhere. You can hear Denzel even talking about the bathtub earlier.
All right. Yeah, just make sure that bathtub is clean, homie. All right?
Yeah, man. So, this is something where it has all these details have been laid out. They're not, and I'm showing you this. These are some things you probably already know, but I'm just letting you know that there's hardly any just moment in this movie where it doesn't mean something. Really, if you want to learn how to write a script that's tight, I would say look at you have to write anything with a twist or anything. But if you want to learn how to write a script that's tight, but also you're not insulting your audience by putting everything out there, watch Training Day, man. Training Day has a lot of great lessons on how to show and don't tell, and also how to make everything very lean. Like I said, without even seeing the details, you can feel how tight the script is. Nothing's coincidence. Even Alonzo's visit to Roger. Roger was the guy that I think he was his training officer at one time. Even going over, now, Roger, if you know the character Roger he pretty much got betrayed by Alonzo so they could take his money earlier. But if you notice, there's 2 visits that Alonzo makes. It seems like Alonzo goes over there the first time. You're like, oh, what do you go over there for? Did he just go over there to hang out? And then he goes back again. There's dialogue in it to tell you why he went there. And a lot of people to this day, they still miss this bit of dialogue right here.
What you doing later on?
Stay in the house, save some cheddar. I'm less than a year away from my dream.
You're like, well, good. I can come back and kill you then. he was, he asked you, like, what are you doing later on? And he's like, I'm going to be home. I ain't doing anything. All right, good. Just tell me everything.
He's like, oh, he saved the money. Okay, yeah.
The guy that trained him doesn't realize he's being sized up by Alonzo.
Oh, what a monster he's created.
Yeah.
But is he the guy who trained him, or is he the guy who pulled him in to all this dirt?
Well, that's another thing I was going to say. Listen, now we're going to start getting into things that people really don't connect, that people don't see. Because I've watched this enough, and some things I'm reminded of, and some things I have to, like today, I remember thinking about this, but I remember just thinking about it even more today. They give you small details. They don't sit down and have Roger and Alonzo say, man, you remember back in the day we did that bust and I trained you.
There's no exposition.
There's no long exposition. I really am getting to the point, I hate exposition. What they do in this movie is they just put small details down there, and if you don't catch them, and it's taken years for people to capture or to catch these connections here. You can see the influence that Roger has had on Alonzo if you just listen to some of the things that Alonzo keeps doing, and then you hear the same mannerisms from Roger. There's one thing that Denzel keeps doing in the movie. He keeps saying one thing, and then later on, Roger does it too.
So it was a real client.
Boom! You never know. That's the point. Go.
He keeps saying boom. Look how many times he says boom, and then look who else says it.
He's on his way to smoke his ex-partner before trial.
Pow! Boom!
Roger does the same thing, and Roger does it more than once.
Drop what's in your hands before 0. 3, 2, boom.
And it's like, you could tell these guys. He had a real influence on
or they're closer than we see in this movie.
Yeah. Well, when you see that, how close they are, you start looking at, all right, well, this makes sense. This guy was so in adoration and so well trained by this superior officer, Roger, that he picked up his mannerisms. Mm-hmm. And then you start to wonder, well, okay, they don't say it. They just give you little hints. They don't give you any big, again, exposition of background. Mm-hmm. There's just little small clues to say that Roger, as likable as Roger is, and as much you want to feel bad for Roger, there's something that's said about Roger earlier. And we think that Denzel is just, as Alonzo, is just saying this shit just so he can manipulate Jake a little bit more.
Sure.
That man was your friend?
Roger sold dope to kids. The world is a better place without him.
And now you start thinking like, well, he's just telling him that to make Roger look worse. But Roger, first of all, Roger got $4 million hidden, and no cop gets this on his pension. Mm-hmm. And then you see a scene here later on with Roger, and it's like, man, okay, what was that phone call all about?
Excuse me. Shit. I can't do a thing for it. Sure mess, you clean it up. Don't be calling me.
So Roger's obviously doing some dirt.
Yeah.
So now you start to wonder, if Roger has been a crooked cop, some dude sitting on $4 million in his house and buried under his floor. So is he the one that corrupted Alonzo? And
more than likely, he had the scams going on, and his was all right, look, either you're in on this with me or I got to kill you.
Yeah, and then that whole thing influenced Alonzo to repeat the cycle, man. They even show you how connected. They show you how connected Roger and Alonzo are, almost metaphorically in a way. If you notice, it's almost like, and it's real deep too to me, because this is a betrayal, and this is a man looking at another man dying and looking down on him, and then ironically he goes out the same way, but almost to the point where, man, ironically he went out like Roger. Look how Roger went out.
Holy shit!
Breathe.
Now, even in death, Alonzo and Roger are connected. Look how Alonzo goes out. Both of them dying, sucking in those last breaths, man. And I almost think it's a way where it's not just meant to be like, oh, you know, this is karma. It's like, man, you know, these guys are even connected on their way out. Both of them crooked, both of them passing a cycle of corruption, and both of them going out the same pitiful way.
That's the faith of this business in a way. And like the way like they gasp for the last air, it's just like, that's the moment they accept that they lost. That's the moment, like, because he kept saying, I'm winning, I'm the winner, and shit, like, this is the moment I'm losing, I'm done.
Well, yeah, he lost because this fool even came out with a knife thinking he was going to, look at him, he had a knife in his hand like he was going to do something. That's why he laughing at his ass. They're like, look at this nigga over here.
Yeah, no, they're just like, just let him go for a while. Let's see how long this goes.
You know, one question that I do have is, why would Alonzo bring in a rookie to do this stuff on one of the most important days of his life, where it's life or death for him? And the reason why I ask this, because, you know, this is an important situation, and the logical answer I know would be that because, you know, it's easier to bring in a rookie and put him on his team and to pull him in with all these people that he's manipulating, you know, to bring him in when at the end of it, he plans on framing him and killing him. At the end, Jake is either going to go to jail or Jake is going to die. You know, if he doesn't get with the program, there's the whole promise of Megan Detective that's there with him that could probably slightly make Jake say, all right, you know what, I'm on with this. Because I look at this and I say, well, the only problem with what's going on is that if he was looking to put Jake on his team, why couldn't he just use the team he already had?
Well, consider two things. And that one, Alonzo is an opportunist. And here's this opportunity where, like, hey, we're giving you this rookie to train. So this is something he can use. But the bigger factor is he's on a timetable. The Russians are coming after him, and they're not going to let him take, months to plan it out how he wants to. So he's got to come up with something quick, and suddenly there's this opportunity. All right, let me revise my plan and go with this. Yeah. I mean, because it looked like a lot of people think like, all right, you know what? He's going to kill this guy, or he's going to put him in jail, and it'll be easy to manipulate a rookie.
Did it have to be that way though? If he played along, he could have been even fine, like even if he shot the guy, they planned everything, the other cop got shot and everything. He could have been fine, if he played along.
Well, that's what I think. I'm thinking like a lot of people, the only problem is that it looked like this is an important thing. And this is something else that I think you have to notice in the movie that a lot of people don't see. Because a lot of people think like, oh, he just wants to get rid of this guy once he's used him. And I don't think that's the case. I think that for a long time, Alonzo is looking at Jake and thinking, you know what? I do want to put this guy on my team. This guy's got potential. If I can just get this guy to play along. That's why I'm saying, like, why you want to train this guy on the day that you got to get some shit done? because there's a lot of times that he's looking at him. He's thinking like, man, I got a fresh slate right here. I got a fresh rookie who's going to do whatever I tell him to do. And all I got to do is promise him the world. That whole thing, like I said, promise to make him detective. If I promise to make him detective and he's listening to me, I can bring him in and have him not only see what he's made of, but he can go in there. I can get him to do all the real dirty stuff. I can get him to do all the grunt work. I can get him to do whatever I want him to do.
You think I'm crazy, right? Huh?
Man, I don't know what to think.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good. Good.
There's moments where it seems like seriously, if you look at what Jake is doing, Denzel looks at him and is like, damn, this guy might really be an asset. This guy might really.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? I think, because I look at this and I'm thinking like, man, there are so many moments where he's giving Jake a chance. And I think, and the reason why I say that he want to keep him on, if you look at some people or some of the things that Jake is doing to people, like with the crackheads, man, he's beating the shit out of them. And Denzel comes up and he's like, he just stops and look, and he's almost in admiration. And
I think that's just to fool the audience, to make us think that he's really considering him.
I think Alonso wasn't planning to kill him or get rid of him. As long as Jake played along with him and accept to be the part of the team, he would be like, I can have another guy in my team. And I bet he tested his other guys one way or another with other things to trust them, and they're all fine.
Yeah.
He even throw that money on his lap, like, this is your first day, you made all this money and awesome.
And that's
shit.
it. That's why I'm further convinced, because there was so many times that he could have just gone ahead and got rid of this kid. But if you look at and I think this is part of the cycle. If you look at the house, he tells them, because there are moments in here where I say, okay, that's the moment when Denzel said, fuck it, man. But there was a moment where he said, hey, look, this is the last time. I've been trying to talk sense to you. I've been trying to get you with the program. If this money don't tell you anything, then we're going to have some serious problems.
Buy your wife a minivan with that, put the kids through college. Give me that bag.
The only checks I cash say LAPD on them, right? Like this. I
like the way everybody just stealing this motherfucker. I'm like, well, we really had to kill him. I think it was that exact moment where Denzel just snapped, because like I said, I think that's how he got all the other guys. It's what we were talking about with what Roger did to him. Mm-hmm. Roger came in, Roger corrupted him, and Roger finally pulled him in with the lure of money. If nothing else, if all else fails, money was going to be the last thing. And he's done this with so many people. He didn't, and the system is so corrupt. He did not expect to have a Jake Hoyt come in and do this. Like, that's why they're looking like, fuck, we've never seen this before.
Wait, you serious? You're not taking it.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, and I think that's the moment when Denzel.
But then Denzel's like, I'll keep it for you, because he thought like he might change his mind in point. Like, this is your first thing. You're too excited right now. You might say no, but you might change your mind in the future.
And you know what? I think you're right, because I think the moment, it was the money that crossed over. But he said, if money doesn't happen, then we only have one last resort. And if you're not going to do money, then I got to have you kill somebody so I can really frame you. And when Jake didn't do that, that's when Denzel just said, fuck it, he's got to go. He even told him to his face before Jake turned the tables on him. He told him to his face, all right, you know what? I see right now, we're going to have to murder you and make it look like you died in a heroic fashion.
A Los Angeles Police Department narcotics officer was killed today by his wife and infant child. Shit gets deeper.
You like, boom. Now, the reason why I say that was the turning point, because he tried everything.
Yeah,
like
he tried
with those other
everything,
guys, he tried his best to groom him like those other guys, and Jake wasn't on board. He ain't never seen this shit like this. And at that point, that's when he says, you know what? I can't take this out in a messy way. But he did it. At that point, he decided to kill him, because right after that, that's when they went to the car. And he says, I just have to keep his trust for a couple of more hours before I have these Mexicans shoot his ass.
You want to lock up poisonous? This is the best place to do it. But you got to change him from the inside, son.
I think that Jake is so confused right now. Look at him. He's like, I just don't know what to do. But I think at that point, first of all, Alonzo just loves to manipulate people, but he says, you know what, I can't be, he's so cunning. He's like, I can't be messy with this. We just can't blast his ass because we kill him right here. The blues are gonna come in the blue suits and blue uniforms. The cops gonna come in and they're gonna see Roger dead over here, and then they're gonna see Jake dead over here, and there's gonna be more questions than necessary. I gotta hold his trust for just a couple more hours, tell him what he wants to hear, manipulate his ass, get him over there, these Mexicans, and so I can just have him shot in a clean way that nobody has to know about. That's when I thought that Denzel finally said, in the house. After Jake, and the reason why he told those guys not to shoot him is because all those Jake had a gun pointed at him. He's like, "Fuck, if y'all shoot Jake, he's gonna cap on me." That's when I thought that Denzel finally said, "This guy's a lost cause. He's not like these other guys I've had. He's got to go."
I thought that the first time I saw it, but watching it again, I thought, nah, he was planning to kill him early on.
Beginning of the movie, before, and again, this is how deep this movie is. They give you, and they tell you how manipulative this guy is before you even see Alonzo. He's already trying to fuck Jake's wife.
Hello? Yes.
Give me the goddamn phone, woman.
Exactly.
Shit. Who is it?
Exactly.
Give me that fucking phone. Hello? Oh, sir? I'm sorry. No, man. Before you even gets there.
That's all.
It's really great catching small moments here, man. If you have to go and again, it's a movie that can be seen over and over again. Put the puzzle together. It took me a second time to realize what was happening, maybe even a third time to realize what was happening in Smiley's house. Mm-hmm. When Denzel Alonzo takes him to the SA's home, and he's setting up the hit, and you can see little things happening, man, where that is all coming together. It's already an intense scene.
Yes, it is.
But if you pay attention, it's even scarier when you realize that, and you already, like I said, maybe the second time you already know Denzel's up to no good. But there's a point before something's even said. Maybe you catch it the first time, but the second time you're like, oh, Jesus, that guy's fucked.
Seriously, I know I'm number one. See why we don't play for money, Hans? Because of this vato, eh?
You said, yeah. This guy don't even know. He don't even know he's dead yet.
Denzel just sending memes doing this.
Yeah, he sent a text. He just sent skull and crossbones. He sent a skull meme or an emoji. He took a skull and crossbones emoji. Yeah, man.
But yeah, you don't ever want somebody to look at you like that.
Well, you
open a phone and look at it and look at you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's when you look at him like, man, who is that?
Yeah. Number one. See why we don't play for money, Hans? Because of this vato, eh?
Yeah, that's your ass. Yeah, you don't ever want to get that call right there, man. Yeah, that's Denzel letting them know, like, I'm gone, man.
Yeah.
There's even a point some people have said, I don't know if you can hear that. You probably won't even hear it in this room. Maybe you guys can hear it. But they say there's a point here where if you listen carefully while they're playing cards, you can hear Denzel's car leave outside.
I thought so.
To show you just, now we're talking about the script, but to show you just how great the director, Anton Fuqua, and the technical department is on this, there's little things, little small touches. Again, it's not proven. I don't think it's been said, but if you listen carefully, you might hear a car, like a car door slam and a car leaving.
Hey, so why don't you tell us something, Hans? How long you been a pig?
Like if you listen at the beginning of the clip, you heard.
I heard that.
Did you hear that? Yeah, that's some people think that's Alonzo getting in his car.
Maybe that was neighbors. We don't know.
Yeah, it could be. Me showing you all this is just showing you a piece of it, what people look at as entertainment, and they don't see all the small details that go in there, and they think that just some of this stuff is badly written because it's just coincidence. Things are being connected too loosely because they want to get done with the film and whatnot and get to the exciting parts. Mm-hmm. No, people. This is the reason why I love this film. It's not because, well, it's part of it. Not because, I want to reach maximum Denzelness one day and anything, but it really is a movie. If you watch this several times, as we said, man, there's so many movies that give you exposition.
Sure.
And this movie, it shows, it does not tell. And this is one of those movies that really does, for as mainstream as this movie seems, this is a movie that really treats its audience smart.
Well, there's so much to get dazzled by that you miss the details, or you pick up on them, but then by the time it gets into the movie, you're like, where'd this come from? And it's not until a second watch where you go like, oh yeah, this was here this whole time.
And I'm still finding things in here, man, to this day. Like that whole thing with, I knew that there was a connection with Roger and Alonzo, but just today I was like, wow, man, I did not really realize the connection that was there. And it seems like it might be something that you could read in on too much, but I think the movie's too smart for just to see that as a coincidence. Let's talk about some of my favorite quotables. I love, do you have any favorite quotables in here? Because I tell you, I'm gonna put it to you, but I love that everybody thinks this is my favorite one. Either King Kong, Ain't Got Shit on Me, or Sherm Hill PCP.
Some man-sized hit you took, dog. When's the last time you smoked weed?
12th grade.
And so many scenes where this is edited so well. There's so many scenes where they show him being the devil, man.
Oh yeah.
Well, he's just looking at him cunning and like, yeah, I got him. He got into Jake's head so bad. Jake got it from the house before he left.
Yep.
His wife said, "Don't fuck this up." Yep. That baby looked at him. Don't. And then with him, you got the guy that he's trying to please the most, who put a gun to his head earlier and told him to get the fuck out of my car, and pretty much said, "Just go be a failure."
Know and love narcotics. In fact, take it in.
Man, listen, I became a cop to stop people.
Yeah, blah, 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 blah. It's not a review board, and it ain't cocaine. Take it in.
No, man.
This is why I don't feel bad for Jake. I'm sorry. This is why I feel bad for Jake, because Alonzo is so manipulative. First of all, he intimidates him immediately by telling him to shut up using his authority. Then he makes fun of him. Mm-hmm. He mocks him. He pretty much insults him.
Jesus Christ.
He said, Jesus Christ. The fuck?
Let's try it this way.
Shit, before the gun was even pulled out, he already knew what was going on. He's like, this ain't gonna be good.
I think this is the point Jake should have just walked away. Like this guy's crazy. I don't want to be nothing with this guy.
I feel like at this point you could go to your wife and go like, yo, he put a gun to my head.
But again, this is how manipulative he is. Mm-hmm. Because he put a gun to your head, but he explained why. It wasn't a threat. It was a test, and you fucking failed.
Right. If I was a dealer, you'd be dead by now, motherfucker. You turn shit down on the street, and the chief brings your wife a crisply folded flag. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Everything is... Everything is meant to be a test to make it feel like if you don't do this,
I know.
You failed.
I know.
This guy is good. He
is good for sure. Yeah. The moment that Jake said, "I'll do whatever you want," I was like, shit, you're fucked.
Somebody said, Ryan Coogler, did you not fucking see the scene? How is this a test? If you turn down narcotics on the street, this is what happens to you.
And he is right about that.
Yeah, he put a gun to his head saying, this is what you do if you turn it down. I thought you were smarter than this. I thought you knew better. You ain't material. You ain't detective and narcotics material. Get the fuck out of my car.
But you're not a seller. You're my trainer. So that's why I said no. It's not the same thing.
We were watching it with the subtitles on because she likes to watch the subtitles on movies, and the way they subtitled this, one of my favorite lines from the movie is when he calls him poop butt ass.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the line right here. Poop butt ass. Now the way Netflix, went in and translated this. Poop butt ass. Poop ass. Like you're taking a shit right now, which he probably did show himself.
He is in a way. Yeah.
This is my favorite. This is one of my favorite scenes. Those crackheads, those horny ass crackheads, they were like zombies for sex, man.
Oh, they were.
Yeah, they was in broad daylight trying to rape people, man, where everybody can see it.
Yeah.
And but this is and ready to fuck anything. This is my favorite line from the movie right here.
I'm gonna fuck you too.
Say like, shit, this is our lucky day. They delivering ass us.
I guess they had some Viagra's or something like that. Right? I'm gonna fuck you too.
Shit, they just DoorDash ass us right now. I'm like, you gonna come at the trash can do? I'm gonna fuck you too.
And after all that beating and like they put them on handcuffs and everything, they're still talking. It was like, fuck you, man. Like, shut up.
Yeah. I want to put in there the things that I said that like I discovered and maybe you didn't know. So this is why I love this movie really, because a lot of people think again it's because of Denzel, and yes, he's great in the film. Ethan Hawke is amazing in the movie. Yeah. Ethan Hawke even said, because Denzel came out and said, I couldn't have done what I did if it weren't for Ethan Hawke. Sure. Ethan Hawke is just like, hey, look, I'm glad he got his Oscar. As long as I did my job and made him look good, then great.
Yeah, but he got nominated. He did, and it was a big, people already knew who Ethan Hawke was, but this was a big push for his career.
Yeah, I remember when he was talking to you about fatherhood, and that night he was like, yeah, man, wow, man, I'm just. I'm blowing up right now, man. Like,
he was still humble about it.
No, he was. He was very nice, man. He was very nice. Yeah, I love this film, man. But it is because of Denzel and it is because of Ethan Hawke. But like I said, I'll say this one more time: if you want to go and write a tight script, you really want to learn how to put details out there without having to over-explain to your audience. Treat your audience with respect and give them something to watch your movie over and over and over again. Give them a reason to do that. Watch this film. It's a great film to study. Don't let it. It's easy to dismiss as popular entertainment, but truly it is one of the best and tightest scripts ever written in Hollywood, man.